Shalom once again. This is Yeshaya Yisrael. I'm going to go over Did Humans and Angels Have Sex? Part 2A. And what I'm presenting for a recap is that no, that human beings and angelic beings did not have sex. Now, let me ask a question, giving honor and praise also and emphatically first and foremost to Yah, the creator of heaven and earth, knowing that the Most High is just. Let me ask a question. According to many, they teach that Mary in the New Testament was impregnated outside of somebody besides her husband, in this case being Joseph. Some refer to that as what they refer to as the Immaculate Conception. Some don't call it that. According to the New Testament, it states that Jesus was born of the Holy Spirit. Now, let's understand something. The only spirits that we know of is that the Most High is a spirit, and that from the Most High he created all things, good as well as evil, as in the book of Isaiah 45 verse 7 shows. If you are teaching, brothers and sisters, that angels and humans had sex, knowing that an angel can come in a spiritual form as well, that angels and human beings had sex, and that it was a bad thing in the book of Genesis, when did angels and humans having sex, in the case with Mary and whoever impregnated her, according to some people, become a good thing? When is it bad in the Old Testament for any woman to be impregnated outside of her husband without being called an adulteress or a whore inside the scriptures? And then in the New Testament, when Mary, according to some, with what they call the Immaculate Conception, was found with child of the Holy Ghost, as if to state that Joseph was not the father of Jesus. Something is not adding up, brothers and sisters. You see, the way of the Most High is one way, as it says in the book of Proverbs. It's a stronghold to the upright, but that same way of the Most High is destruction to the workers of iniquity. It is in iniquity, brothers and sisters, to sit there and teach that the sons of the Most High in Genesis 6 is not talking about human males, when you done went over several references about the Most High calling human beings his sons. Okay, now, one of the other things to point out emphatically is we're going to go back into the book of Josephus, right? It says this in parts from where we left off before. But for what degree of zeal they had formerly shown virtue, meaning that these are the children of the sons of men, right? The same way they showed their virtue and their uprightness and righteousness, they now showed by their actions, which is an act. You are known by your actions, the things that you do. They now showed by their actions a double degree of wickedness, whereby they made God to be their enemy. For many angels of God accompanied with women, and begot sons that proved unjust, and despisers of all that was good, and on account of the confidence they had in their own strength. For the tradition is that these men did what resembled the acts of those whom the Greeks called giants. So who came up with the understanding that the Nephilim were the giants? It was the Greeks. That's not a Hebrew concept, because if you understand the Hebrew word naphil comes from the Hebrew root word naphal. Naphal means to fall, so the Nephilim are the fallen ones. It was a Greek concept that came up with saying the Nephilim were giants, as if to say they were great men of stature physically. Even if you want to take the other understanding of a giant, meaning that you are a big man, like a man of renown. That's what Anshe Shem is, the men of renown. Famous men, like you a giant, so to speak, like that, in that aspect. It is a Greek concept, brothers and sisters, a European concept, that human beings and angels had sex. You see, and then now, where it says, for many angels, when you read in Josephus, Antiquities of the Jews, book 1, chapter 3, verse 1, there's an asterisk there next to the word angels. And then it says, as the footnote, this notion, comma, that the fallen angels were, comma, in some sense, comma, the fathers of the old giants, comma, was the consistent opinion of antiquity. So we are seeing what, brothers and sisters? A notion, an opinion, next to the asterisk of what they're saying the angels were. That's not saying the word of the Most High. That is saying a notion, that's an idea, and an opinion. Everyone's entitled, they say, to an opinion. That doesn't make it the truth. Because I, brothers and sisters, will like to sit there and show, and it's not about me. Let's go, if we will, to the book of, we are in the book of 1 Samuel 14, verse 17. We are in 1 Samuel, 2 Samuel 14, 17. The book of the prophet Samuel, 2 Samuel 14, verse 17. And it says this: Then thine handmaid said, the word of my lord the king shall now be comfortable, for as an angel of God, so is my lord the king to discern good and bad. Therefore the Lord thy God will be with thee. This right here says what, brothers and sisters? Then thine handmaid said, the word of my lord the king. She is speaking about a human being, right? Shall now be comfortable, for as an angel of God, so is my lord the king to discern good and bad. So she is comparing a human being to an angel of the Most High. And you know that by saying what? Malach Elohim. Malach, as we went over before, means messenger or angel. So sometimes they read the word angel and they get a one-sided track thought of saying, oh, it had to been some kind of thing that Balaam winded up seeing, or that the angels of the Most High upon the mountains in the time of Elisha saw. Not necessarily. It can actually be something that Jacob saw, which was just a regular person. But what this woman right here, which we read of in 2 Samuel 14:17, she's comparing a human being to an angel of the Most High. So this right here so the angels aren't the Most High. You understand? So that right there just goes to show exactly what it's talking about. In the Hebrew, it says Malach Elohim, an angel of God. And she's talking in reference, comparing that to a human being. So the sons of the Most High, and we go into the scriptures itself, when it says the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that was men of renown, men of the Most High, dealing with women that was not on a caliber to be called the daughters of the Most High, like you see in Isaiah 43, verse 6 and 7. Bring my sons from afar and my daughters from the end of the earth. But when you are a man of the Most High, a son of the Most High, and you dealing with the daughters of men, which is not on a level spiritually, socially, mentally, and in other aspects as being referred to as a daughter of the Most High, you have become a fallen one. That's what it talks about like that in Proverbs chapter 7. For with her much fair speech she causeth him to yield the ways of the strange woman, to keep you away from that, because you are the sons of the Most High, and you have to know and see what position you have. But when you're trying to duck and dodge from being that, you're going to sit there and say it's everything but you. So the fact that you have the spirit to sit there and say such is not necessarily the wisest or the best thing. Brothers and sisters, let's go, if we will, to Jeremiah chapter 31. We're going to go to Jeremiah chapter 31, right? Verse 37, and let the book speak concerning another matter. And then we're going to conclude with that part. All right? It says this in the book of the prophet Jeremiah chapter 31. We are going to start in verse 37. It says, Thus saith the Most High, if heaven above can be measured, and the foundations of the earth searched out beneath, I will also cast off all the seed of Israel for all that they have done, saith the Most High. What's being stated right here? If heaven above can be measured, the Hebrew word that's used there for measured is the same Hebrew word for survey, the Hebrew word madad, right? If heaven above can be measured and the foundations of the earth searched out beneath, the Most High was saying that he will destroy or cast off all the seed of Israel for all that Israel has done. So now, who in the world is trying to go up into the heavens outside of the people that we saw with Nimrod, outside of Russia, outside of the United States? And now you have a situation in which there was certain rocket ships, brothers and sisters, that blew up. NASA and all the Star Wars type of understanding, who are you fighting against? They're fighting against the army in their mind of the Most High, because they figured perhaps they conquered Yisrael, our people, so now they can go against the Malakim in the heavens. And so now when they attempt to go up there, what happens in many cases? They wind up being destroyed, or they wind up being lost, and so forth and so on. And they have never been able, brothers and sisters, to go and be able to search out the heavens. So being that they cannot measure it, and to give you an example of how it cannot be measured, because years ago they were saying that Pluto was a planet, and now they're saying that Pluto is really just a moon of Neptune, and that it's not a planet. So they don't even know what in the world they're looking at and what to call what they're looking at. You know why? Because that's not your domain. That's not what the Most High gave you. It says the earth has Yah given unto the children of men. We are here to deal with the earth. We are from the earth for the people who are of the earth. The so-called black man, the so-called black woman, and the so-called black child. We are the children of the earth because we came up out of the earth. It's these other people in today's day and time who want to go up into the heavens and so forth and so on. No, that's not our portion. You understand? So, as stated, brothers and sisters, in concluding this, just a couple of things just to let it be known. Yes, there are people in the scriptures in the Old Testament that was in the book of 2 Kings that was taken up, like Elijah into heaven, and Enoch was taken in the book of Genesis into heaven. But nowhere was Enoch told in the scriptures to commission a book and to teach the sons of men certain things. Elijah, when he comes back, is stated his responsibility in the book of Malachi. It states that he would turn the hearts of the fathers to the children and the hearts of the children to their fathers. Now, if it says that you're not supposed to go up into the heavens because the heavens belong to the Most High, and the earth hath he given to the children of men, and it says in Jeremiah 31, verse 37, if the heavens above can be measured, which is an attempt that they're trying to do, who is right to sit there and state that Enoch is talking about there being 7 layers of the heavens? Who gave you that authority to state that? Brothers and sisters, it's a ploy made to try to go and destroy the house of Israel. They're not going to be successful, but that is a ploy in which they try to do. The miners that go into the earth to search out the earth beneath, they got the crust and the core and the inner core and everything like that, and they're trying to give you diagrams and measurements and so forth and so on. All of that right there, that along with NASA, is the reason why they're doing that, is to try to cast off the nation of Israel from being a nation before the Most High God. So that's how serious it becomes. You understand? And then you have the understanding of some saying that, well, okay, you had human females who had sexual relations with angelic beings. Meanwhile, some of the quotes that some brothers and sisters refer to is not even saying such, because the book of Josephus is not saying that the angels that went into the women were from the heavens. It distinctly speaks about man before that in their wickedness, and man after that part in their wickedness. And we showed in the book of Samuel how angels, according to people, were even accounted as men. And there are several instances in which angels came in the form of men. So with that said, brothers and sisters, we as men need to step it up. Stop blaming everybody else but ourselves. Stop thinking that, it's the woman or some other being beside us, and do what Leviticus 26 says and confess our iniquity before Yah, the Most High. With that, I say shalom. Have a good day. Good night. Peace.